What's up, you guys? In this video, we're gonna run through the top 5 mods for the new Latitude Outdoors Carbon Speed Series sticks. As you can see, I got them right here, packaged up real nice. I've had a lot of time to play with these things, and I think I'm really dialed. So I'll run through everything that I've done to these sticks, as well as show you how I pack them up to make them as streamlined and as efficient as possible. So the first thing you're gonna notice is that these are camo, and what that is stealth strips. And stealth strips are essentially adhesive-backed felt that deaden noise. A lot of people complained about these making a ton of noise, sounding like those plastic rattling antlers when you bang them together. So I wanted to get these things quiet, which is the first step in any climbing stick that I use, or platform for that matter, is wrapping them in stealth strips. And they actually nest together even better with the stealth strips than they did before. I covered every non-step surface in between, front, back, basically anywhere where there's contact that could possibly be made. I want to eliminate that. As mobile hunters, our goal is to get as close to our target animal as possible. Doesn't do you much good if you get in tight, but then make a bunch of noise. So this way, as you're nesting these, as you're taking them apart, even if you bang them together or clank them on something, they're not going to make any noise. They're going to be dead silent. So mod number 1, stealth strips. So the next thing that I modified is the steps, and these sticks have a unique design. There's a lot more surface area on top of those sticks. So what I did is I added this grip tape that has a glow-in-the-dark strip. So not only are you going to have a lot better grip by using this, but when you're climbing up and climbing down in the dark or in low light, you're going to be able to see exactly where those steps are, which is helpful for me. I don't use a flashlight in most cases. I like to be stealthy, so I just take my time. But this way I'm going to make sure I'm even more safe, because I'm going to be able to see exactly where those steps are, regardless of how bright it is outside. The third mod, if you can even call it a mod, is their Amsteel single step aider. The reason I call it a mod is because it's really an add-on. It's not something that comes stock with the sticks. So basically what it does is it takes your 2-step stick and gives you a whole extra step. So you're gonna be able to get that much higher without any weight or bulk. And a lot of people had concerns or were commenting that there's no way this thing's gonna work well. All you do, you put your boot on it like a normal step, put your toe into the tree, step up, and it works really well. And then when you're all done with it, I had to play with this a little bit to figure out the best way to do it. But you just wrap it around the bottom of the stick, come up here to the cleat, and hook it on. And right there, all you do when you're done, undo it, drop it down, and it's ready to be deployed. So the Amsteel single step aider is mod number 3. It's gonna make that much more efficient. So the next thing that I had to figure out was how to get these things to pack very well for transport. And Latitude provides a gear strap that cinches these down really tight, does a great job for what it's designed for. But I'm not a big fan of individual pieces or something you have to keep track of. I'd probably lose that strap. I wanted something attached to the sticks. And there's some third-party products that are designed for this, but I don't like the way that they work. So all I did was bought a roll of this shock cord. It's basically just a bungee, and I'll link to the stuff. It was really cheap. And I just made a loop, put it on the top wing of one stick. You don't need it on all the sticks, just one. And then you just run it around the whole bundle, and then put it around the wing of the same stick that we have it on the opposite side. So now we have that bungee going all the way around, and then it's gonna pack them together real nice. And then when you get to your tree, all you do, you take that, pop it off that wing, take your stick off, and you're ready to climb. So it's that simple, super cheap. It doesn't cost anything really. And then when you're done, you take that loop, run it around all of them, hook it around that wing, you're good to go. So this is the best solution I've been able to come up with. I don't think I'd change anything about it. It's super simple. And then when you're actually using that stick, you might think that, oh wow, what if you got your foot caught on that or something? All I do when I'm climbing is I just tuck it behind the stick. It gets out of the way. You don't even know it's there. So the last problem to solve was how to actually climb the tree with these attached to your hips, so you can ascend the tree and descend the tree in a single trip. And I think that's critical. Some people hang a stick, climb down, grab that stick, climb up, hang it down, back up. They're constantly up and down. That way you're making a lot more noise, you're sweating a lot more, it's gonna take you a lot longer. So my goal is to make it up and down the tree in one trip, so that way you're as efficient and as quiet as possible. And what I did to solve that problem was I took that same shock cord and just added a little loop to the bottom of each one of these sticks. And they're on the bottom, so they're gonna be completely out of the way. I mean, they pack down to nothing. You could have put them on top, but I just didn't want to be standing on them. I just wanted them out of the way since I had that option. But what I would do when I got to my tree is I would undo the last mod, take off the bottom stick and I would hang that on the tree. So everything is on the ground. I'm hanging this on the tree before I do anything else. And what I'm doing with the rest of these sticks is I'm taking that bungee, wrapping them back up so that way they're in a nice package. They're not knocking together. And then I'm taking all 3 of them by their little bungee loops. And then I have a tiny little carabiner on my hip here. And I'm just gonna drop them all into that carabiner so that way I'm hands-free. I'm gonna climb up, and when I get to the top of my first stick, I'm gonna have my lineman belt attached so that way I don't need to use my hands. I can reach down here. I'm gonna undo the bungee that's holding them together. I'm gonna remove one of them. And then I'm gonna bungee these back together. And you probably wouldn't have to do this, but if you wanna just be extra quiet and make sure these aren't gonna knock together. But then I come down into my little carabiner, unhook the next stick, attach it, climb. You know, you drop down your aider and your attachment method and you climb. And then in reverse order, if you're not the type of person that just chucks everything out of the tree, if you want to actually be quiet and take care of your equipment, pack up your stick, wrap it up. And what I've found is it's the most efficient to do everything in as few touches as possible. And what I mean by that is there was times where I used to take the sticks off the tree, drop them to the ground, and then when I got to the ground, then I'd wrap everything up. But while I have this in my hand from the very first time, I'm gonna wrap it up since I'm hands-free with my lineman belt. I'm gonna wrap this up nice. And then all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set it in here, attach it to the carabiner, and then I can actually undo the bungee and redo it. So now these are fixed together and they're not gonna flop around. So that's the reverse order. And then I would take my last stick when I'm on the ground, pop these bad boys off the carabiner, undo my bungee, attach it, pack up, and I'm ready to go. That's all of them, you guys. I think Latitude knocked these sticks out of the park, but these simple fixes will make them that much better and make you that much more efficient as a deer hunter. But if you have ideas of how to do things differently or how to do things better, drop those down below in the comments. I think saddle hunting and mobile hunting is awesome because everything is personal preference and there's a million ways to go about it. This is what works best for me. And I'm actually heading out to North Dakota next week, so there's a good chance that when you're watching this video, I'll be somewhere up in a tree, so make sure to wish me luck. But like this video, you guys, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video.